about to say non-organic.
Well, at least I learned how to tie nooses, so I got that on my side. With the muffler, Ryan Bruckner, I'm Mike Big Tobacco. I'm just messing. I'm Mike Big Tobacco Ryan, and this is my intro. Welcome to Squared Circle Cinema. Ryan, how am I doing today? We're all gonna die.
What's wrong, man?
What do you mean?
Those Tinder dates aren't working out like you thought they would?
No, they're... Ryan, I want to fall in love. I'm
Don't
ready.
we all?
Yeah. I'm not there yet, man. 35 years old. So when I go on these Tinder dates, and thank you very much for bringing it up, I want everything. I'm projecting 30 years down the line, and it just has not been working out well for me.
Mike, was it not Kierkegaard or Mike Ness?
I think it was Dick Van Patten.
Was it? I think it was Mike Ness that said, "How can you love if you don't love yourself?"
I think I'm pretty goddamn narcissistic, though.
Being a narcissist doesn't mean you love yourself. It means
How much more can I love myself? I love myself at least 4 times a day.
Hey now.
Don't hey now me. That was funny, but you saw what's coming. Like I saw in your eyes, you're like, here comes a masturbation joke, and there it is.
What's so bad about saying hey now?
Hey now means that wasn't funny. Hey now, that's like, but
You think Hank
It's the same thing as
Kingsley
but-um.
said hey now when Larry Sanders was not being funny? He just said it any time. That was his catchphrase.
Cinemaniacs, do you get the reference? You decide. I think you do. We all watch Larry Sanders' show, right?
Well, I mean, there was a two-part...
It's the Ed McMahon. The Ed McMahon, right?
There's a 2-part documentary on Gary Shandling's life that just came out a couple months ago on HBO.
Welcome to Squared Circle Cinema. Ryan, how am I doing today? You know what? I don't want to talk today at all. I just want to listen to you speak. Seriously. And I mean that genuinely. I don't feel like talking. So have you listened to the new Father John Misty? Have you getting into the NBA finals?
I have to...
You know what's crazy about the NBA finals?
I thought you didn't want to talk.
How long do you think the Winter Olympics were? How long?
Like
Give me a number of days.
37 days.
2 weeks, 2 days. That's 17 days. How long do you think the NBA finals are?
2 weeks?
2 weeks,
7
3
days?
days. And you know they're going
That's
all
3 weeks.
2 weeks and 7 days. That's something that someone from the Brady Bunch would say. Like one of the sisters. Let's get back to Father John Misty then.
Well, I did listen to that yesterday.
What do you think?
It was pretty good.
There's this one song on there, Mr. Tillman, blew my mind. It's like the third song on
Have you
there.
seen the video?
I have not.
The video's trippy.
How trippy is it?
Well, take my wife, please.
Yeah.
It's like him checking into the hotel, looking at a miniature of the hotel, and it's him inside the miniature, and he's like an Uber driver, and he's also himself jumping off the building. And
What?
It happens in miniature, but it also happens
That's crazy.
in real life too. And
That's like that Matt Damon movie.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked up.
That's crazy. I will check it out. And I'm so thankful that I have Google Play, which syncs up to your YouTube account. So every song that I download instantly plays the video.
Are you being paid by Google? You came here with like a big ass camera on your
Yellow,
car.
small, different. No, little, yellow. It's like people only do things because they get paid. I think it's just really sad.
Speaking of YouTube, Red,
Look at the size of my... Yeah, go ahead.
Cobra Kai. Just watched it. Per your recommendation.
Yeah.
Totally loved it.
Wasn't that unbelievable?
Just totally...
I started watching the first 2 episodes just for nostalgia's sake. You know, I was like, oh, I love these characters. I adore these characters. Fine. And then like, all right, I'll just watch the first 2 episodes, whatever. I was so emotionally invested with just the switch. Now we're sympathizing with the Johnny character.
Yeah,
And
he
LaRusso's
does so
kind of
well
a prick
too.
at the beginning, and then you start to like, okay, they're both moral, good human beings, but I don't know who to root for here. And I'm kind of rooting for Johnny, especially from his perspective of his experience with LaRusso as a kid. You know, like he just comes on my girl, I'm just pushing the guy, I'm having a good time, and he sucker punches me. It's like, it kind of makes sense. You know, he had been drinking that night. LaRusso hadn't been drinking that night. He is definitely encroaching on his woman. And I just completely was like, all right, Johnny's the good guy here. I don't want to get too much into spoiling anything, but what an incredible turn from his students. Good, pure teenagers. Nerds that become monsters.
That's one of my favorite parts about it.
They become absolute. The Hawk just invests in a mohawk, and he's just timid at first, and now he's just beating up kids.
Yeah.
Like anything in his
Getting
wake
disqualified.
is getting destroyed. And even our main character is he turns into a complete heel in the very end. Sorry,
so
to
you didn't
spoil.
want to give anything away.
Well, no, I mean, if you haven't seen it yet, then just go find it out yourself. If I was listening to someone like saying how good it was, and that was like, that's not really a spoiler, is it? I mean, I don't know.
Well,
Maybe
you
it
talked
is.
about his whole shift. But was it a shift, really? He was.
We don't know. There's going to be
yeah.
a second season.
Yeah, true.
Sorry to talk about a shift.
I think why Johnny was so effective is because, like, you know, back when the original Karate Kid came out, the actual actor, whatever his name, William Zabka, something.
Yeah,
Is
Billy
it
Zabka.
Billy Zabka. He was probably living it up, rich, hanging out in the Hollywood Hills, going to parties, getting laid all the time, doing tons of coke. He was that bad boy character back in the 80s. And then you think about what he would be doing now. He's probably in like a studio apartment in Reseda, drinking banquet beers all the time. His life probably kind of sucks compared to the highs he was on
and
during
that's like
the
the
80s.
brilliance of the writing.
Yeah.
There's a crew of people that loved the original movies, the first 2 movies, got together and like, where do you think they are now? And it just flourished into something that's very stunning. And the idea of LaRusso being a kind of a slime ball, but he's not. Once we get more fully invested, he still has that heart.
He just, you know, he created a business
He
and
created
he knows
a business,
how to
but
market
when you see that
himself.
through the point of view of Johnny Lawrence, you're like, oh man, I just the point of view of him drinking, you know, Coors Light, just like while he's driving to work and just hungover perpetually.
Yeah.
There's something very sympathetic about that, and he's just looking at the billboard with him selling these Audis, and it's like you didn't want to sympathize with LaRusso.
I think
and it was so amazingly done.
Mr. Miyagi instilled a real work ethic in Daniel. I mean, he made him wax
Crazy.
all those cars. He
Yeah.
made him paint the fence. He just like taught him about hard work
Yeah, and I
and
love
taking
that-
care of the bonsais.
I love that moment at the dealership where he's training
Somebody else.
someone else's son.
And they have to wax cars. And
have
then
to
they
wax
add
cars,
the whole
and-
sweeping
but he
thing.
mentions there's like a very cool little moment where he's like, I love this part. When he finally gets to implement, you know, what he's learned washing cars to the karate, meaning he's done it 100 times before.
Yeah.
He takes in kids and he's like, I'm going to make you a better human being because I can. I have this luxury. You know, so he's done it dozens of times before. He's now doing it with Johnny Lawrence's son. Like, what an incredibly rich story. So many layers to this.
And I think it's that work ethic that got him to build his car dealership empire.
Absolutely.
I mean, he came from nothing.
He owes everything to Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah. So
which is that scene at his headstone was
it
just
makes
so
sense
incredible.
because, you know, on the other side, you've got like a spoiled Encino kid with like an asshole stepdad that never had to really work for anything except for kicking asses in the dojo. That's like the only like thing that he ever really worked on. So he didn't have that humility and that work ethic that Daniel had.
Right.
So that's why they're in two separate spaces.
Yeah, and then he finally was like, no, stepdad, I'm going on my own. And he made that choice.
Yeah.
It's like a really interesting time in his life to meet up with that character again.
Well, anyway, watch Cobra Kai.
Oh, my
if
gosh.
you
And
were a boy in
subscribe.
the 80s and 90s, you got to watch it.
Yeah, look, you get the first 2 episodes on YouTube, sign up for the free trial, YouTube Red, and then cancel it. Unless you're like me and you get completely hooked in, and I divorced Spotify after a wonderful 7-year relationship, but now I'm a Google Play kind of guy because of YouTube Red, which is fantastic. You just put on YouTube and there's no commercials.
Do you listen to Squared Circle Cinema on Google Play now?
No, it's not on there.
Yeah, it is.
Really? No, I've searched for it. It wasn't there.
It's in the Google Play.
Well, it's Google Play
podcast.
Music, though.
Oh, but there's Google Play podcasts
I'm
too.
focusing on Google Play Music, and I don't like to.
All right,
to,
well, you don't have to listen to
mesh
our
church and
podcast, I
state.
guess. I know you're not a fan.
I kind of like it.
Have you ever heard of flickchart.com?
Damn it! One of these days, I just want to be like, yes, because I'm aware of things.
www.flickchart.com.
Is that with a C or with a K or with both?
Both. It's spelled like it is.
Should I type it out right now?
Sure.
Flick fart?
Yes. Flickchart.
Do you think flick
Flickchart.
is a domain though?
Flick them charts over.
That's what your
Just
bidet does.
flicking your butthole. Yeah.
It just flicks those
Yeah.
charts right out, and then you have less
Yeah.
wiping to do. That's why a bidet is great.
Yes, exactly. Well, anyway, so this, you can start like a list of every movie you've ever seen, basically. It'll say, hey, have you seen this movie? Have you seen this movie?
says it like that?
You have?
Hey!
Pick which one's better.
So
and then it just starts
voiced,
ranking.
The website is voiced as Sylvester Stallone?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
For instance, after years of just ranking movies, you want to know what my top 10 movies are?
Oh,
Of all time?
Wait a minute. How does it know what movies you've been ranking?
What the hell
Of
are you
years you've been ranking movies, you just discovered this website. So this is according to
No,
your
I've
website.
been using this website for years. I just decided to talk about it right now.
Really? 10 years? No. How
No,
long
maybe
is-
like 2.
Oh,
2 or 3.
Well, it feels like 10 years.
Number 10, Jaws.
Wow,
Number
interesting.
9, Annie Hall. Number
That would
8,
be higher.
Fargo. Number
Thought
7,
that'd be lower.
Boogie Nights.
Thought that'd be higher.
Number 6, Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
This is like
Number
right.
5, The Empire Strikes Back.
bullshit.
Number 4, Pulp Fiction. Number 3, Back to the Future. Number 2, Goodfellas. And number 1, The Big Lebowski.
It's wrong.
That's my chart.
Yeah, but it's not correct though, because a lot of that top 5 you don't talk about. You don't talk about the top 5 nearly as much as you talk about, say, Boogie Nights. You know,
But we talk about
Big Lebowski's.
Paul Thomas Anderson a lot for some reason. It
That's 'cause
doesn't
of
mean
me.
it's like my favorite movie.
That's because of me, man.
But
I'm
it's-
just bringing up Magnolia every chance I get.
7's still really high.
Wow.
It's only me talking about how I like it better than Magnolia, not how I like it better than Goodfellas.
Those are good movies. That's a great list.
Well, anyway, I kind of thought, what if we typed in some of the movies we've seen recently and pit them against other movies to see where they'll ultimately land on my ranking?
I haven't seen any movies recently, man.
I'm talking
I
about
I
our
got this movie
fucking-
pass, and I'm not even using it. I signed up for a year contract, and
Well,
I
they're
don't even
gonna-
go to the movies.
They're going to go out of business anyway, so don't worry about
Yeah.
it. I'm talking about the fucking movies we watched on the podcast.
Those are the only movies I watch anymore.
So, let's see. How about Blade Runner 2049?
All right, so you're going to start with that, and then it's going to say, is it better than? And then there's going
Yeah.
to be another movie that pops up.
So I'm typing it in. Add to my flick chart. Okay. Is it better than Cloverfield?
Absolutely not.
That's a tough one for me. 'cause
Cloverfield is a good movie.
I didn't like Cloverfield.
You didn't like
that much.
Cloverfield?
I
Oh,
saw it in the
man.
theater. It made me nauseous.
That's a good thing. That's
From
what
all
they
the
intended, from the
movement.
movement. Oh my gosh, I thought those characters were so real That movie affected me. There's no, come on, look at me here.
I like the new
Blade Runner 2049.
I like the
might be better
Cloverfield
than
Lane movie better than Cloverfield.
Okay, that's not the same. That's just because you love John Goodman so much. But Cloverfield was incredible, Matt.
This is my flick chart, though.
Man.
I'm going to say Blade Runner. Okay, Blade Runner 2049 or Batman Forever?
I just call you Matt? That's weird. Say it again.
Blade Runner 2049 or Batman Forever? Batman Forever. Batman.
Agreed. There is so much a man could tell you, so much he could say.
Blade Runner 2049 or The Pineapple Express?
Pineapple Express. Love that movie. Hilarious. Saw the preview the first time. I was like, this is the movie for me. And there's like a kind of a whodunit kind of thing going on. There's an action flick involved. You know, someone gets shot. I don't remember the plot at all.
Someone gets shot.
It's not a whodunit.
Well, there's a character that gets shot.
There's like a heist
repeatedly.
Yeah.
Danny McBride's character
Right.
and he keeps ending up alive.
Hilarious.
Blade Runner 2049 or Charlie and the Chocolate Factory?
Which one?
Charlie.
There's only one.
and
Okay, the
Chocolate.
original. Okay.
No.
Oh,
the original's
the
Willy Wonka. And the
I
Chocolate
keep mixing those up. Blade Runner 2049.
Yeah.
Don't
I think
even
I
second-guess that
agree, yeah.
What?
Blade Runner 2049 or AI, artificial intelligence? That's kind of an interesting
That's
comparison.
a tough one.
Because they're both really close as far as tone,
And I both really
futuristic
disliked
vision.
them. I didn't like AI at all.
I didn't. I think I liked it about as much as I liked Blade Runner 2049, but I saw AI in the theater.
Something about
and
AI just bothered me. I was like, oh, this is probably not what Stanley Kubrick intended.
I kind of liked how he ended up at the bottom of the ocean, though, with like his toy.
Well, you're into drowning.
I'm going to go with AI.
That's why you liked...
Spider-Man 2 or Blade Runner 2049? Spider-Man 2.
Blade Runner 2049. I don't think I've ever seen Spider-Man 2.
Spider-Man 2 is considered the best one of all the Spider-Mans.
By me.
By most people. Probably has like a 95 to 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
What was wrong with Spider-Man 1? Spider-Man 1 was great. When she's hanging
Spider-Man 2
upside
was
down and...
Thomas Crown Affair, 1999 version, or Blade Runner 2049?
Blade Runner 2049.
I don't know. I like the Thomas
Crown Affair.
First of all, you got Ray Renusso's Rene Russo's tits, and you've got like a really cool heist at the end where a bunch of people are wearing bowler hats and like passing paintings to paintings. It's very
all right.
it's
Then fine.
Very good ending.
I will go with your pick then.
Phone Booth or Blade Runner 2049?
Phone Booth was so suspenseful. That was a great movie. I'm
going with Blade Runner 2049.
It's like where's the call coming from?
Oh,
Is that the guy from 24?
Blade Runner 2049 or Rat Race?
Rat Race.
Rat Race.
Rat Race.
Rat
all
Race
the
is
way.
funny,
That's-
man.
that's
Is there a
hysterical.
wrestler in that? There's got to be.
I don't
There's
think
so
no.
many people in that movie.
I don't think there is.
There's not a wrestler just like hanging out in the background.
No.
Rat Race is funny shit.
I remember
man.
like I wanted to dress like the guys in Rat Race at that age when it came out. I was like, maybe I should change my wardrobe.
like
they're wearing a lot
Seth
of layers.
Green's character. There were a lot of different characters in this movie, man.
No, it wasn't Seth Green. Who the? Well.
Cuba Gooding Jr.
Oh yeah, didn't a cow fly or something in this movie?
Yeah, I think so. Blade Runner
No,
2049.
Breckenmeyer. I'm sorry, I was blanking on his
Doesn't
name.
he just like
he
wear a
wore
suit?
like crazy layers, and I was
He
like,
wore
man,
some
that's a
good suits.
sophisticated man right there. All right, I'm sorry.
National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, no brainer. Way better than Blade Runner 2049.
Yep.
Okay, Blade Runner 2049 ranks as movie number 492 on my flick chart. I kind of feel like it should be lower, but
Yeah.
I could.
I mean,
always-
how many movies do you think you've seen?
I mean, so far I've reviewed on the Flick Chart 1,138 movies,
But if
but
you
I've
had to
had to have
guess-
seen like
Thousands.
25,000 movies.
Yeah.
I'll say that.
That
Might
seems
be a
pretty
little
accurate.
high.
No, I don't know. I mean, like you picture a basketball arena where every
Yeah.
chair is a movie you've seen. You know, you were on a streak where you were seeing a movie a day for a long time.
Okay, let's do another one. Should it be a good one or a bad one?
Yeah, 25,000 is a little high.
A good movie or a bad movie that we've seen?
Let's do a good movie.
Okay, you pick it.
All right. Roadhouse.
Okay, Roadhouse. I think I've already started ranking this, but
Well, then forget it if you
I'll
already.
continue ranking it.
Okay.
I'll tell you where it stands on my chart. Right now, we're at 1,038. So we definitely need to re-rank this. It's better than
Yeah.
that.
As far as your ranking, geez, Blade Runner just bumped up just because you engaged with Blade Runner.
Yeah,
Now it's in 429.
Yeah. No,
you got to
it's
move.
yeah,
you
okay.
love Roadhouse, right?
Roadhouse or Karate Kid 2, Roadhouse.
That's difficult.
Roadhouse or Batman Forever,
Roadhouse.
Roadhouse.
You were really quick to say Roadhouse.
Roadhouse or
Karate.
Zoolander,
Roadhouse.
Roadhouse. Roadhouse or Reservoir Dogs,
Reservoir Dogs.
Roadhouse or The Fugitive.
Fugitive, man! I love that movie.
You
I didn't kill my leg.
You
Wait,
yelled
what did
over my joke.
Oh.
I was gonna ask the question and then I was gonna say, I don't care.
Why was that such an iconic scene? Like he just
I didn't kill my
Tommy Lee
wife.
Jones just kind of delivers
I
his
don't
line.
care.
That's not why I'm on the mission. I'm just trying to bring you in. That's my job.
The Academy was like, wait, did he say he didn't
said
care?
he didn't-
Get that man an Oscar.
Get him an Oscar.
I want you to search every roadhouse, outhouse out here. We got to find this fugitive. I don't
Mickey and-
care if you killed your wife.
Mickey and Mallory Knox did.
I got to find you.
Yeah.
Roadhouse or the fugitive?
Roadhouse.
Roadhouse?
Yeah.
I mean, the fugitive
Click
has
it.
he jumps
Click
off.
it.
He jumps off the waterfall.
At
Man.
that scene, that's
He
the only
says,
scene
"I
I
don't
remember.
care."
And there was one armed man. And I remember the first time I heard about the movie, like, oh, he's being chased by a one-armed man. And I always thought it was like,
This
well,
is
that
a
is
tough one.
one armed
They're
man
both close.
armed with artillery.
All right, I'll pick Roadhouse. You strong-armed me into it. Roadhouse or Inglorious Bastards?
Inglorious Bastards.
I agree. Roadhouse or Scrooged? Scrooged.
You didn't like Scrooged. You thought Scrooged was overrated.
No, I didn't.
You like it because of one monologue at the end, and the rest you think is a little melodramatic.
The monologue at the end is
Breathtaking.
so good
I
that
know.
I'm picking it over Roadhouse.
Over Roadhouse. That is surprising to me, and I think you
Ooh.
should think about that a little bit longer.
This one's juicy. Roadhouse or The Crow?
Crow. Dude, I was the Crow 3 Halloweens in a row.
I was one Halloween and I looked like shit.
I did
I
too.
borrowed a leather jacket from my aunt. It had freaking fringe on it, man. Fringe on the arms. It was the only black leather jacket I could get my hands on. It had fucking fringe.
I think I just
My parents
wore-
weren't going to buy me a leather jacket just so I could be the
At
Crow.
least that's effort. I just wore, because I would always wear black jeans. I wore like black jeans, and then I think I had a turtleneck, long sleeve black shirt. And then I just
Probably
put some
looked
of
better.
my mom's mascara on my eyes, and like,
I'm the Crow.
3 years in a row.
Oh, Mike's gay this year again. Is that what your dad said?
Okay.
I
Leave
knew
me
it.
out of it. It looks
Yeah,
great.
The Crow. Roadhouse or So I Married an Axe Murderer.
So I married an axe murderer.
I love that movie, man.
There is absolutely no difficulty in me coming up with that answer.
One of the question that's plagued me my whole life is how did Mike Myers afford to live alone in San Francisco? Was that really his
90s.
job? Just doing those poems
doing
at
bits.
some coffee shop? He had to pay that band. He had a band.
People knew him.
He had a band.
People knew him though, so he was
So did he sell
successful.
Did he sell books of poetry?
Perhaps
Like you could actually.
he was a comedian.
He was a poet.
He was a poet, but that was his bit. So he had a regular.
So he's a poet comedian.
Yeah, I think so. Hello, look at the size of this coffee.
He wasn't at it.
I ordered the large coffee.
Well, I guess it
And
was.
everyone knew who he was. Like,
The
he was
only
pretty-
other
he was a successful comedian.
poet they show is like some freaky person talking about getting abducted by aliens. So maybe it's kind of like a Groundlings type of indie comedy
His buddy
scene.
was very
I'll
successful.
pick
He
that
was a
up.
copper, man. He
Yeah.
was a successful human being.
Well,
It was like-
he was just upset that he had to do so much paperwork.
yeah, and the chief wasn't mean to him.
Yeah.
Is that Alan Arkin?
Yeah.
It's just like, I wish you were like more like the movies and just like,
And then he's like, "How was that?"
how was that?
was
That was
good.
better. That was better.
Then remember when he actually had to go out and save his friend, and then and he's like, "Not now," and it's not Paisan. So I married an ex murderer. It is.
Who's the comedian that was
Ooh,
flying the plane?
this one, a movie
Stephen
that
Wright?
we will review one day.
Okay.
And a movie we've already reviewed.
Oh boy.
Roadhouse or The Wrestler.
The Wrestler.
Roadhouse.
My experience after seeing The Wrestler in the theater at the Cinemapolis in Anaheim Hills was very memorable. I cried the entire ride home after watching The Wrestler, and I can't say the same
Well-
thing about Roadhouse because it wasn't my time. You know, I wasn't able to see.
Nobody's gonna watch.
What if we
Roadhouse
saw
and
that in the-
cry the entire way home?
Oh,
though?
no. But that was the intention
It moved
of
you.
Aronofsky. His intention was to get you emotionally moved. This movie was to like get you pumped up. So there's movies, action movies that I've gotten to see in theaters where like Gladiator, I'm like, I want a sword fight on the ride home. Like it stays with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I don't have the luxury, or I'm sorry, it's not fair
So
to
The
Roadhouse
Wrestler
because I
just
never
made you cry a lot.
Well, no,
for a few
what I'm
weeks.
saying
It
is
made you
maybe
wanna
if I saw
cry.
Roadhouse in the theaters at the Cinemapolis in Anaheim Hills, I would have had a different reaction.
I'm going with Roadhouse. Sorry, it's my chart. But The Wrestler does have the whole Mickey Rourke working at the deli stuff.
In a WrestleMania.
So Roadhouse is now number 104 on my flick
There it
chart.
is. That sounds should be higher. Wait, so how many movies is it? Let's
On
do
my
another one. Let's
on
do
my
another one.
flick
Let's
chart?
do another one.
I have 1,138 movies. You want to do one more?
No, I want to do movie number 48 of 5,007. Yeah, let's do one more.
Okay.
This is pretty fun.
Okay. Should I pick? Should it be from this year
I
or
picked
from
last
earlier on? I'll let you pick this year or earlier on.
Earlier on.
Okay. I am going to pick. Stay tuned.
Oh! Oh!
Adding Stay Tuned to my flick chart. Is
All
it
right.
better than The
Officially.
Karate Kid 2?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes, Karate Kid 2. Why are they starting with Karate Kid? No, I love both 1 and 2. All right, but it's
I love
all about
3. I love all of them.
fine. Yeah, but I don't. The original Karate Kid is like good enough. Like that's my. That's the chutzpah of
But
the whole
Karate
story.
Kid 2 has the opening scene where
He's doing kicks on a boat.
No,
Breathtaking,
the opening
that part.
scene is where it's after the tournament.
Yeah.
And the
like
sensei from
Halloween.
Cobra Kai is trying to kill Johnny. He's like trying to choke him to death.
Yep.
And Miyagi saves him.
I know.
And he punches through the car windows because Miyagi moves out of the way. That is why I have to pick Karate Kid 2 over Stay Tuned. Sorry, Stay Tuned.
But Stay Tuned says that has that scene
Stay
where he's like, I
tuned
would have
or-
given you chocolates.
Leaving Las Vegas.
Stay tuned. Come on.
You like Stay Tuned better than Leaving Las Vegas?
Leaving Las Vegas, I thought, was corny.
It was boring.
Borny and corny.
Borny? It made you borny?
It made me so borny.
All right, I agree with you. Stay
like,
tuned.
in theory, Leaving Las Vegas sounds incredible. Like, when you hear about someone's dad talk about that movie, it sounds like the best movie of all time.
Someone's dad talked to you about that movie?
Maybe.
Back in 1995 when it came out?
No. But I hadn't seen it in a while, and, okay.
Was somebody's dad like, Mike, you're kind of acting like Nicolas Cage
No.
in Leaving Las Vegas?
It was a discussion of film. And it was like, God, have you seen Leaving Las Vegas? The guy goes to Vegas to intentionally kill himself drinking. And we are along this journey while he starts from soup to nuts, and he finds a girl. And it's like, oh, my God, maybe there's hope. But he's like, no. I'm very goal-oriented, and I never renege on my goals. I decided I'm going to drink myself to death in Vegas, even though Elizabeth Shue is now sucking my dick. And he kills himself anyway. And it's like, that sounds like an incredible movie. And then when you watch it, it's kind of like,
It's a good performance, not a great movie.
It's cheesy.
It's almost, there's parts in it that, like,
gritty.
scarred me.
Yeah.
I watched it maybe too young. I don't know. Maybe like 12, 13. And there's that guy that's like, I want to fuck you in the butt. I want to fuck you in the butt. And he rapes Elizabeth Shue. And then there's the scene of her sitting in the shower with blood like coming out of her asshole. That scarred me.
Why didn't she just, wow. So, like, because they cut out when she was like, no. Absolutely not. You know?
She was forced.
She was forced. She was raped.
Yeah, by a
provocative
group of
scene.
men.
Wow.
Stay tuned. Only 20% of the people faced with that decision picked Stay Tuned. It tells you that, too. Stay Tuned or We Were Soldiers, starring Mel Gibson.
Oh, Stay Tuned.
Stay tuned. Stay Tuned or Man on the Moon. Oh my God, 2 movies we reviewed.
You want to say it together?
Stay tuned. Stay Tuned or Looper.
Looper was really, really good. That
Stay
was
Tuned or Network. You got to pick Network.
I know you do, but I want to. It's like Stay Tuned meant more to me as a kid than Network. But then again, it meant like I'm mad as hell and I'm not going to take it anymore.
As
like
a kid, if you watched Network, like what would that have really done for you?
Yeah, Network is a better movie. Yes.
You probably wouldn't have gotten Network. You should have waited till you were older to watch it.
Yeah.
Stay Tuned or Alice in Wonderland, the Tim Burton version.
Stay tuned.
Stay Tuned or The Rock. Not the guy, the movie starring Nicolas Cage and Sean Connery.
The Rock.
Welcome to The Rock.
You're the man now, dog.
Stay Tuned or The Lady Killers. Stay tuned.
Yeah. Which version? The
Coen Brothers movie.
Yeah, that didn't work. It was. I mean, Tom Hanks was pretty good in it.
Stay Tuned is now number 628 of all the movies I've ever seen.
But how does that make any sense? I guess it ranks.
I could
movies
re-rank
it goes
it
up
again.
With. So if a movie that is above that movie you dislike, then it's going to be instantly. So you said I like this movie number 500 more.
You can look through your chart and be
less.
like, that seems a little low. That seems a little high. And you can hit re-rank and it'll put it up against other stuff again. So Stay Tuned is 628.
What's your favorite ranking?
My favorite ranking?
I want you to rank your scenarios of rank. We're talking music. We're talking film. We're talking...
what do I like to
weather?
Rank the most?
Yeah.
Your comedy bits. This one I'll rank at number 4,782.
And that leads us to film number 48 of 5,758, Back in Action, starring Roddy Piper. Will it compare to the classic They Live? No.
You can compare it.
Let's do it. All right, They Live. What if it comes up?
Should we put Back in Action?
Back in Action. Do it.
Okay, let's start ranking Back in Action.
Can we just keep doing this? Every time I come over, we're just going to do this.
Okay, Back in Action. What if it went up against They Live? Adding it to my flick chart?
Okay, let's do it. Okay.
Is it better than The Karate Kid 2? No. Is it better than Evan Almighty?
Why does it always start with Karate Kid 2?
I don't know. Maybe it feels like it's a good just leveler.
Okay. Interesting.
Evan Almighty.
No. Evan Almighty.
Evan Almighty sucks.
It's fine, but it's funny.
It's funny?
It's not. It's no
Have you
Bruce
seen
Almighty.
Have you seen it? Because I actually watched it in the theater, and I thought it was terrible, man.
I've seen it. I mean, I remember Bruce Almighty a lot more, but I remember it.
Evan Almighty is really bad. Like, there's not
Okay.
even... It
Okay,
was
fine.
just like a cash grab.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Back in Action's
Okay,
better than
you're
Evan
right.
Almighty.
You're right. Okay.
This actually gives really good insight into this movie. We're really getting down to the nitty-gritty of where this movie stands. We could do this every time.
I love it. We should always open with it. Let's just only do this.
Is Back in Action better than Star Trek V, The Final Frontier?
Back in Action. I've never seen Star Trek V, and neither have you.
I have seen it.
Really?
I've seen every Star Trek movie except for the latest one, Star Trek Beyond, and I never actually saw Star Trek the motion picture, the first Star Trek movie.
Because I've seen that the first two, and I thought they were pretty damn good. I haven't seen.
I'm gonna go with Star Trek: The Final Frontier is better.
It good? Is that like one of the better ones?
It's not, but it's okay,
Okay.
and it's better than this shitty movie, for sure.
I just want to like watch that movie now. Star Trek V. It just seems like an interesting movie to just sit down and watch.
The American President or Back in Action.
Which one's the American president?
It's the one with Michael
Douglas.
Michael Douglas and Annette Bening. The American President.
Yeah, it's a well done.
It's written
movie.
by Aaron Sorkin, I think.
Okay,
You
let's
can't-
go with
yeah.
Aaron Sorkin.
1 hour photo.
1 hour photo. Robin Williams at his absolute best.
The 10 Commandments or Back in Action. I mean, the 10 Commandments, Cecil B. DeMille, you got your Charlton Heston.
Incredible stages,
Yeah.
props,
Pretty boring.
a lot of extras.
But
a
yeah,
lot of extras.
You got to pick the 10 Commandments.
When it boils down to it, I mean, we're comparing,
Winter's
Back in-
Bone or Back in Action. Winter's Bone.
Whoa. Jennifer Lawrence.
Yeah.
Wow, that movie.
21 grams or
21
Back in
grams
Action.
is excellent. That's how much your body weight mass.
The fighter. I'm the fighter.
I'm a better
not
fighter
you,
than you.
and not you.
I thought I
I'm the
was the
fighter.
fighter. No,
I'm the fighter.
He's just a kid. You're not the
You
fighter.
you think you're the fighter?
I'm the trainer. I'm the
Yeah,
okay, but
you're the
listen to
trainer.
me.
I'm the fighter,
You
not
listen
you,
to me a little
and
bit
not
more.
you.
Okay, just
Yeah.
The fighter.
The fighter.
The fighter wins.
No doubt.
Stardust. Have you seen Stardust?
Is that like a
got-
musical or something?
No. It's like a weird ass comedy sci-fi fantasy movie with Robert De Niro as a gay pirate.
Yeah,
Ricky
I have
Gervais
seen it.
is in
I've seen
it.
it like what we're putting me in like what 2007.
Yeah, you hit it
yeah,
on the
yeah, I have seen
nose.
it.
2007.
Back in Action.
You think Back in Action?
Yes. There was just so much going on in that movie. At least Back in Action is a simple formula. It's
That's
like,
true.
okay, well, I get it.
Okay, I'll go with you. Back in Action is number 853. I kind of got to re-rank that, man. Should we re-rank it?
Needs to go lower.
It's got to go lower.
All right,
than
well,
that.
let's do another one then.
Re-rank it. Let's bring it back around.
You can't just choose the ranking. So you can like type 14,003.
It's got to be in the thousands, man.
Okay, go.
It's asking the Karate Kid 2 again.
It always starts with the Karate Kid too.
Of course, the Karate Kid 2 is better.
Pick back in
It's
action,
just
see what-
going through the fucking thing that we just did. Whatever. Let's talk about this piece of shit. The music was over the top. That's for sure.
That was noticeable.
Yeah.
Oh, a lot of guitars, every kick. Oh, there was a kick to the balls scene, and the guitar went.
So much slow motion gunfighting in this.
A lot of
like
gunfighting,
there wasn't
a
like
lot of
just a
gun violence.
real time gunshot. Everything had to be.
Which is cool. Like for some reason, I felt the effects of death in this movie. Like there's a lot of death, and I thought like I felt sympathy for everyone that died.
Oh yeah, it opens with Roddy's partner that kind of
Right.
looks like a skinny version of Jake the Snake Roberts or Rick Rude. Just had a big,
Yep.
hulking mustache, thick mustache. He gets bladed. The bad guy
Chokes
tells
his
him,
deep-
"Do you
chokes his
do you
neck."
want to die?
Yeah,
Do you want to die today?"
yeah. There's some powerful death scene
Yeah.
moments.
Cuts him from sternum to
Oof.
what do they even
From
say?
stow to from mute
From crotch to esophagus.
to Adam's apple. Let's say
From cock to
balls. that's just a little slit.
yeah.
A lot of great, death moments. Not great, but good. Like
The first-
okay, fine. Death moments happened. Like at the end, where he's like, "You have the right to remain." Roddy Piper's like, "You have the right to remain silent forever."
Yeah, that's a good
I
line.
was like, okay, all right. There's some good moments in this.
The first
movie.
moment we see Billy Blanks, who's the co-star of this movie, he snaps a guy's neck.
Right
For
from
anybody
behind.
else, it'd be, a chiropractic adjustment.
Yeah.
But if Billy Blanks does it to you, you're
and
dead.
and he never was like, "Hey, are you just hanging out here? Are you part of this crew?"
Yeah,
Like,
he's
I've
just
never
like,
met you.
I see this guy, I'm snapping his neck.
Yeah.
Because my sister is hanging out with some unsavory characters, and and
I'm gonna kill
Quite
everybody.
frankly, I don't like that. Only I can fuck my sister. Nobody else can.
I think no.
I feel
no.
he was
I
a
didn't
little
sense
over. He was a
any-
little overprotective, wouldn't you say? Just leave her alone.
I don't think so. There's no father figure.
What's the difference between him and Tony Montana and Scarface and his relationship with his sister?
Well, that was a lot more exposed. I guess there was a lot hidden that we didn't really see.
I feel like it's
There's something sexual. There's
similar creepiness.
There's
there.
like an incest. I didn't get any incestual vibe at all, but it was kind of creepy. But then again, I just thought, well, there's no mom and dad, so he has nothing else to live for, so he might as well provide and be, the protector to this the last tie to our family name. Meanwhile, like he's just blowing it. His kias are too loud, and he's getting her in more and more trouble. Now she's
Oh
like,
my God,
gonna get murdered because of
nobody
him.
hi-yas like this guy.
He's not like. I think this would have been better if we really would have focused more on Roddy Piper and then and just complete. Like I like the vigilante idea of him helping fight crime, but if he was just only seen through Roddy Piper's point of view, so we don't get any of those scenes with him and the sister.
What
It's
if they just
all-
would have cast a better martial artist, somebody
Billy
that was
Blanks
a good
is
actor?
Just have you seen any other Billy Blanks movies? Like
Apparently, he's in the Last Boy Scout. And
Really?
he plays himself in a lot of stuff too.
I
think
hope
he was
he's
in Jack
improved.
and Jill.
I bet
Adam
he's
Sandler.
improved because like this was like you can really see the
he's
difference.
Terrible.
Between like athlete actors
And-
with Roddy Piper's like his delivery and his like he's in the scene, he's invested, he's reacting, and my God,
Dude, his hairline, man. What was going on with his hairline? He had like a 90s black dude fro, but in the middle of his head, he had like a Eddie from Family Matters. Just move Eddie's hairline
well, how old was
3 inches back.
Well, it was receding a little bit, but he was probably in his early 30s when this, I mean, you got to keep look at LeBron James.
He was born in
these days,
1955.
man. It's dude, you would look so much better if you just went bald.
But LeBron James's hair isn't grown out to a fro. He keeps it tight.
He lets it grow a little bit, and it kind of exposes his bald spot when he looks down.
LeBron looks fine. He
Yeah,
looks
you're
better than Billy Blanks does in Back in Action.
Seriously, come on. We're rooting for the Cavs, right? Callback. Are we sick of the friggin' Warriors? The fact that LeBron can bring this team to the finals, just a band of misfits, basically. Anyway,
I don't care.
All right.
I really appreciated the short runtime of this film.
1 hour and 28 minutes. Okay. God damn it. I wanted to play a clip, but it's not.
And now they want to kill you?
I didn't do anything.
You didn't do anything. You're right there in the middle of a shootout. A cop gets killed. Where's your boyfriend?
I don't know.
He had to know about this.
No, he would do that.
Because he loved you? Right.
Hey,
Dude.
which shitty ass 93 skyline did they keep establishing?
I thought they were shooting this in L.A.
No.
Does it say on the IMDb where they shot this
Let's
shit?
go over each of the action sequences.
Did you...
Number 1, good location.
Oh, God.
Seeking shelter from bullets behind headstones. Piper yells out, "Wallace!" Touching moment between man and dead partner. Throat stab. C+.
This was filmed on Toronto. This was all filmed in Toronto.
On, in, or around.
Yeah.
All right.
Dude, Roddy, he was maybe in the best shape of his life. When he was in a towel, I was like, did somebody just finish their cycle? He looked great.
What?
You ever see him look that muscular?
Did somebody just finish their cycle?
Yeah.
Are we referring to laundry?
We're referring to juice.
Wow. He did look pretty good. And it was interesting that this was right around the time of WrestleMania 8.
Yeah.
And he looked kind of
had
flabby.
He had to get in.
He looked kind of flabby WrestleMania 8.
Yeah, I know. And he was at Intercontinental Championship level.
Yes.
Interesting.
Movie
Okay,
magic.
here's a real thought-provoking question. I have the answer in my head, but I want to see what you think.
All right.
Who wins in a fight? Roddy Piper or Billy Blanks? No
Where-
holds barred.
Okay, where? What's the location?
They're at
Is it a
in my
backlot brawl?
backyard.
Are they behind the Arrowhead Pond of
They're
Anaheim?
outside right now in my backyard.
Okay.
And of course, Roddy Piper's dead.
Can you
so
imagine that
this
scenario?
is circa 1993. The two of them are fighting.
Roddy Piper. Roddy Piper is just more gritty. He could
Yeah.
he wouldn't, once he would find an in, he would take advantage of it and find Billy
yeah.
Blanks' weakness to the point where he would cripple him. I don't know. I mean, kicks only go so far.
I mean, yeah, and Roddy Piper trained with Judo Gene LaBelle.
Yeah. He's been in more fights.
Yeah, Judo Gene LaBelle famously choked out Steven Seagal and made him shit his pants.
Oh, was that on that show? The Steven Seagal show back when?
No, it was just like on a movie set.
What was the name of that show? Where it was like your
Where
favorite
Lawman.
Lawman. For a brief period, that was your
The
favorite
first season
thing of
was
all
pretty
time.
good.
Wait, was he just proving him like you want to be in Under Siege? Then here, get over here. I'm
No,
gonna make a man at
Steven Seagal was just like talking shit, and so they were like, "Okay, let's go."
you. Wow.
And he choked him out, and he woke back up, and he's like, "Oh, you wouldn't be able to do that again."
Oh.
And then he choked him out again, and
then
he
he
shit
pooped.
his pants.
Wow.
And so that's like a legendary story that everybody, there were like people that say that
Yeah.
they saw it, but
I wish
Steven
that would have
Seagal
happened
denies it.
this day and age. You know, like there have been 6 phones filming that. You know.
But okay, you look at just the fight scenes in this movie. The fights that look real are the Roddy Piper fights. The Billy Blanks kicking demonstrations are just so phony.
I honestly, like, Tybo took off to a crazy level. I only knew him as the Tybo
Yeah,
guy.
me too.
I've never seen any of his movies.
I didn't think he was a
think of him
legit
as a martial
martial
artist.
artist.
But
I
he's
just thought he was
done these
an
martial
exercise
arts
guy.
movies, and it's like he is
Horrible.
horrible,
Yeah.
absolutely horrible. And I wanted to like his performance, but you can't get like. Did he have an acting coach? Like, did they at least? Was this just bad
No
directing?
way. No,
or they're just
acting
completely
coach.
relying on him doing double side kicks in his speedos, or Or
Did you
boxing
notice that there were multiple fights where his shirt would get torn off during the fight? It's like, just take your shirt off, man.
Yeah.
I was actually pretty impressed by the explosion at the end. That had to have cost something.
I liked the whole sequence at the end.
Yeah.
I liked the great set. They went on an entire it was a boat. They went on a boat to film this.
Really, all you had to do is replace Billy Blanks,
Yeah,
and you would
there
have
would have been
yourself a
something.
decent early 90s action film.
Or keep him and really tone it down, like really direct to his strengths.
Even
And
if
so
it,
every
dude, if it
time
was
we-
Steven Seagal in this movie,
Oh my
it'd be a classic,
They
an
should,
all-time
they
classic.
should reboot this. There's something there. There's something there, and
And
got
Roddy Piper is good in it.
He's great in it.
Better than he was in Hell Comes to Frogtown.
oh, no doubt, and I love his relationship with the reporter.
yeah,
My gosh.
he's a good actor.
And she's a flawed character as well because she gave up the hiding place of the sister. I mean, we don't have to get into plot points here, but like, there's a lot of like meat to really delve into here between their rapport.
Yeah.
and they focus too much on Billy Blanks, which sucks. It was just as for his his resume or something like that. You got Roddy Piper here killing it.
Well, there's not much fun facts for this movie, so I did find fun facts about Billy Blanks.
All right.
Since we're talking about him, might as well bring it up. So he was first hired as a bodyguard for lead actress Catherine Bach during the filming of 1988's Driving Force. It was filmed in Manila during a time of political unrest. So he impressed the producers so much that they wrote him into the script as a supporting role. That led to his work in several martial arts films, including King of the Kickboxers and Blood Fist. And he's a Christian, and he released a line of special Taibo workouts called the Believers Series that includes motivational prayers and other Christian comments.
I mean-
and he's appeared on the Trinity Broadcasting Network.
I love it. I love it, and I want to love this guy. Like, I love that I love that that's his introduction into Hollywood. It's like, that's a cool story.
Yeah.
And I really thought he was going to be a better actor than this. He just is. What did they see in him?
He was pretty buff.
A body?
You got to give him that.
A body and some high kick.
Yeah,
Everyone's
he could kick.
yeah.
He had a body.
Maybe his work ethic.
What if Wesley Snipes played his role?
Oh God! And he was a vampire.
Yeah. The female lead, her name is Bobby Phillips.
Oh man!
She was in Showgirls. She was just one of the random ass
Really?
showgirls
Really?
at the Cheetah.
God, her voice just did something to my brain where I just completely shut down. I was like, oh my God, can we please at least see her boobs in this movie? And do we? No. And
But you can in Showgirls. She's a trained martial artist, by the way. She did all her own stunts in this film and other martial arts films.
yeah, she
that
had a pretty good action sequence.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
that was her. There wasn't a stunt double. She was doing some really high, side thrust kick kind of things in her heels.
Yeah.
How come she didn't, become more of a star?
She had a pretty good career, I'd say.
Okay,
She
cool.
was in some episodes of Married with Children and the X-Files.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
She was in Showgirls.
I mean, Showgirls, but you said she was just like an extra.
She had some lines. I showed you her boobs. You can find her on Boobpedia.
Oh, my goodness. Wow.
Bobby Phillips. Booby
Allow me to
Phillips.
objectify. Those are the great. That's a hell of a rack. Man, I'm so lonely.
Full circle.
Show me that again.
One more time.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh my goodness. And you know, some dude probably broke her heart at one time.
Actually, you know what? Another fact about her is she's married, and her husband own a hotel that is actually pretty prestigious.
Is it Best Western?
You could look all this information up on Boobpedia.
Wow, that's a great website.
Yeah. Yeah. A little known fact
So
is
you're-
she is a successful entrepreneur. She and her husband built a hotel from scratch, and in less than a year, it was named one of the best hotels in the world by Condé Nast Publications for their 2006 Tatler Travel Guide.
Wow. So it's like you're hooked in by boobs, pictures of women's breasts, and then you're kind of reeled in by the content about her, and now you're learning this about.
Yeah.
Now I want to know more about, her very successful, handsome, probably husband.
His name's probably like Rick.
He probably smells
Kevin.
exactly the same every time you see him. It's like pomade.
Sandalwood, mahogany.
Oh, man.
Yeah, this guy sounds like a real piece of ass. I give this film a 3.1.
I give it a 3. We're on the exact same plane here, right? Our opinions are pretty much identical. Mm-hmm. So same score.
Mike, reach into my urn. The spirits have not been good to us. Will they be good today?
Horrible streak lately. I'm reaching into the urn filled with the souls of professional wrestlers in film.
That
Good
cursed
Lord.
urn.
Just once, it'd be nice if we just review a movie, start hugging it out, crying a little bit.
We do that after the podcast. Uh-oh.
Thank you, blessed be gods of the urn of professional wrestlers in feature film. Oh, this one's for me.
Okay.
The Return of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. I could not be happier with the choice that the urn has thrusted upon me. You have not have drawn that. There's something very, very there's something very metaphysical about this urn that's been directing my life.
Do you know who's in that?
No.
Deborah.
God.
So next
Did
week, stay
Rob
tuned
Zombie
for
direct?
Deborah in the Return of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Nice. What year did that come out? 2005?
Oh, you'll find out next week.
All right.
All right. Well, I am Ryan, the Muffler, Bruckner.
And I am
loading up
my outro.
I remember when Mrs. Hart used to come down, man. She used to make them sandwiches, man. Throw on that bologna. Only one piece of bologna, but that doesn't matter. I was hungry.
Roddy Piper, WrestleMania 8. Outro for me. Will somebody stop the damn match?